All right, let's get out and have a look around. There are two kind BP Pulse folks over here just in front of us, so we're going to hop out, see if they're okay being on camera, and have a chat about the site. But yes.
What do you think about the site?
It's really cool, actually. We were just talking. We literally just pulled in, so we haven't had a chance to walk around yet. But just driving in, I saw it, and I was like, man, this is how like charging should be. You know, like just the canopies to be good from the weather. And you have like a convenience store nearby and all that. So
really handy later if it's going to be raining.
Yeah, for sure. So, do you guys?
Yeah, you guys walk around and there's some fun coffee.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks.
Beanies if you want.
Yeah. Sure. I'll take a beanie if that's all right. It's kind of freezing. So, but yeah, super cool that you guys are out here. Thank you. Super cool that you guys are out here.
Thank you.
I think we'll just do a quick walk around and then maybe we'll come back and chat a little bit about the site if that's all right.
Yeah, go for it.
So,
yeah.
Thanks.
Oh, they are really nice people.
Yeah.
You got a beanie and it's really cold, so we're gonna put to use.
So, all right.
And they can see how cool you look.
Yeah, got the BP Pulse. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, looks like 4 distinct charging areas. 3 of the 4 have the Tritium. I'm pretty sure they're PKM 150s, maybe they're RTM 150s. Not totally certain, but they're 150 kilowatt Tritium units. So we've got 5 over here, but they are, two handles, so they're good for simultaneous charging. Today they're charging just 1 cent per kilowatt hour. So you can do 10 cars here. And I think this site supports a total of 40 cars, but we'll go ahead and talk to them, and we'll talk about that after we finish our walkthrough. So we started in the back, which is where they have like 10 Tritiums, 20 plugs, and then another like 5, oh my gosh, I'm forgetting the name, Alpitronic HYC 400s for the big power EVs. And in addition to that, this is actually built on an existing BP gas station site. So we've got just a good fuel stop here, which actually, I think having gas stations and EV chargers co-located is an awesome idea, because if you are someone who goes on road trips, if you caravan together with someone else, they might not have an EV, and this makes it more convenient if you want to like both stop together, get out, fuel up the vehicles, get some snacks, some food, that kind of thing. So yeah, lots to like around here. The signage I find very cool. I think in the future they could probably improve this by adding some kind of EV charging notification to the main BP sign. So you can see over there, they've got kind of the gas station sign that's got the pricing and all of the amenities and whatnot. So I think it'd be cool to add something about EV charging on that side. But having a sign at all, that is an A+ right there. Good, easy visibility for drivers. I also like the way that they distinguish. You can't see it from under here while we're walking it, but the canopies are blue for the BP Pulse side and they're green for the gas side. And that also helps just kind of distinguish it so that an EV driver driving by can see the charging sign and go, oh, hey, there's charging here. Oh, hey, there's canopies. There's, lots and lots of stations. This is awesome. So it's my understanding that the primary reason that this was built was to support rideshare infrastructure, actually. Chicago's a fairly dense city, and there's a lot of rideshare and taxi type services that go on around the Chicago International Airport, and we are right outside, right outside the boundary of the airport. So very conveniently located for urban charging, and I think for urban charging, 150 kilowatt, 75 kilowatt split, more than enough. So yeah, what are your thoughts, Patrick? I'll take the camera and swing it around on you for a minute.
Oh yeah, it's a really beautiful place. I do like it, and I kind of like how many chargers they have. So there's no really wait. It's probably not gonna happen here.
Yeah, we are 30 minutes. I think we are 30 minutes post the official launch of the site, and I am kind of blown away that there are only like a dozen cars, a dozen EVs here. So we've got a Model Y and EV6, a Model S pulling in, a Volvo XC40, a Silverado EV, which I believe is the BP Pulse test vehicle, and Kia EV, or Kia EV9, Hyundai Ioniq 9, our e-tron, which we haven't plugged in yet, but will in just a moment. And I think that's about it. So, but yeah, overall, very, very comprehensive site layout. Tons and tons of room and space everywhere. You can see everyone's just getting everything set up, getting it all right, and it looks like we've got a white Model Y coming in as well to join in on the fun, the 1 cent per kilowatt hour promo rate of the launch today. After a quick site walkthrough and restroom break in the convenience store, which I added a few clips of just before this, we are now going to try out charging at the brand new BP Pulse Gigahub in Chicago. So that was the Hyundai Ioniq 9 leaving. They were charging when we arrived, and so now it is time to start a session. So I am going to try, actually, I think I'm going to use a credit card, actually. Or to rephrase, I think I'll use my credit card.
Yes.
My impression is not as good.
Hey, Bobby, look, I'm American. I think I'll use my credit card. Do you guys have anything non-dairy? Anything gluten-free?
So we will back out this this REMA cable here and plug into the e-tron. So I'll see if I can get this to stay down. I think I broke the clip off a few months ago. I should just tear this whole thing out of the charge port, to be honest. Yeah, whatever. So I'll just hold it down with the cable, pivot the cable, and plug it in. All right, so now it says successful. So please wait, communicating with vehicle. And I am going to present my card at the same time because it says present card down here. Oh, yep, there we go. Use app or tap your card below to authenticate. So I will tap my card on the card reader, which you can totally show. That's not a problem at all because I accidentally tore the front off of it. But it still works as a credit card, so there we go. Successful. Yes, and so now we can see for sure these are 150 split power and they'll do 75 apiece when both are occupied. This just changed from 150 to 75 kilowatts DC. So we'll watch the handshake here. And the e-tron should request approximately 130 something kilowatts because I think it's at 1 or 2% battery. So let's see. You can hear some whirring from both the car and the charger. The car just turned green, so here we go. Now we are ramping up. You can see the e-tron was at 2% battery, and we went right past 75 kilowatts, right past 100 kilowatts, right around 120, which seems appropriate because I believe the e-tron's voltage is like on the floor right now. So it'll start around 120, step its way up to the 150s, and keep going. So. All right, so I'm just checking in on the charge level here. I've got the phone going in the e-tron to hopefully record the whole session from 2 to 100. I think I started recording at 5, so like 5 to 100. But I was correct. These tritium 150 kilowatt units here are perfectly sized to the e-tron. I am so glad we brought this car, because when one vehicle is plugged in, it'll do up to 400 amps total, and this vehicle wants 400 amps. So this is a perfect use case for the 150 kilowatt tritium chargers. I think there was a lot of but there was a lot of discussion about the decision to use 150 kilowatt split power units, and whether or not 75 kilowatts is enough. And I think for rideshare, certainly, and with so many stalls here, I just don't think it's going to be a problem, to be honest. I was one of those people. I was originally of the opinion, hey, they should just put like 400 kilowatt Alpitronics in the whole, in the whole site. But not every car charges at 200, 300, 400 kilowatts. There are plenty, hundreds, millions of cars that average, less than 100, maybe not millions, but there are at least hundreds of thousands of EVs that average, less than 100 kilowatts on a long charging session. So having a 150 kilowatt charger that splits down to 75, I think, is totally acceptable. And yeah, if you have an older EV, a Jaguar I-Pace, I don't know why that's the first one that came to mind, but an I-Pace, Bolt, an e-tron, really anything that charges at like 150 kilowatts or less, but isn't like super duper low voltage. Like I think the Mach-E is pretty low voltage, as is the F-150 Lightning. The F-150 Lightning is not too bad though, because it has like different boost profiles and stuff. But yeah, overall, very impressed. Super smooth, very easy to use. Reminds me a lot of my loop charging video. They use the exact same 150 kilowatt tritium hardware, and it just works. You just tap your credit card, plug in your vehicle, and then tap your credit card, and yeah, don't seem to be having any issues, which is really great. Time will tell if it's going to be a reliability issue that causes these stations to become less reliable, or if BP Pulse can keep up on it, especially with the Gigahubs. I did go a few days ago to the BP Pulse site in London, Ohio, and it was completely offline, which is a bit of a bummer. So I'm hoping that they can keep these stations online and keep the uptime high, and if so, then this is a great strategy. If I was on a road trip through Chicago, which I'm not usually, then yeah, I would be very, very happy to stop here, because it has canopies, it has 40 stalls, and there's also the convenience store, because it is co-located with the gas station. And this just seems like a really obvious and really smart move from a company that has gas stations around the U.S. Like, leverage the property you already have, put in some EV charging, and extend the amenities that most EV drivers don't get. Superchargers don't usually have a ton of canopies over them. Superchargers are not usually co-located with convenience stores. Case in point, there's actually a 52 stall supercharger right there past the cars, right at a Popeyes. Now, having it co-located with the Popeyes, that's a good idea. It is a good site, and if the BP Pulse wasn't here, I'd be like, wow, this is pretty awesome. But I think the amenities and the number of creature comforts will eventually become more important to the average EV driver than just the pure number of stalls. Obviously, stall count is important, right? Having 40 stalls is important. Having 52 stalls is important. You certainly don't want to roll up to a 4, 6, and 8 stall location like an old Electrify America site, or an old version 3 supercharger, and show up and there's a huge line and you can't charge, whatever. So I do think that large charging parks are going to be important, but I think the differentiator will not be just how many stalls are there in one location. It will be, what are the amenities like, right? What is the convenience? Quick note, this video is not sponsored by BP Pulse or anything. I drove up here, and then they had a little display table for the launch and everything. Like, oh, we have some free giveaways, if you want like an umbrella or a hoodie or a snack or whatever. And I totally forgot how real the lake effect is in Chicago. So this beanie has been keeping me not frozen. I was not paying super close attention here, but it looks like we started to ramp down just a little bit from the 140s to the 130s, around 65%, but that is due to the e-tron's battery temperature, I believe. because we actually haven't charged all that much today. We charged 20 to 70, so about 50% charged at our first stop, and then we did 10 to 55 at the second stop, so another 45%. And it has been a few hours in the cold since then, so I'm guessing it's just cold gating just a tiny little bit, but I will take 134.8 kilowatts at 69% any day. That is far better than the Model 3 can do. All right, we've got a whole range of EVs hanging out now. It's, let's see, about 11 a.m. Central, so it's about 11 a.m. Central, so we've got 2 Model 3s, a Blazer EV, a Silverado EV, a Cadillac Optic, one of the first ones I've seen in person actually, and a really nice red, along with a Solterra, the e-tron of course, and an Ioniq 5. Alright, so we have finished charging at the Chicago BP Pulse Gigahub here. Had a lot of great conversations with a ton of the staff here. Super friendly people. I couldn't get them on camera, but that's alright. Totally understandable, and like I said, super duper friendly. Seemed very excited about setting all of this up and really becoming a bigger name provider in the EV charging space. We went 2 to 100% in I'm not sure exactly how many minutes. Hopefully I have it on video and I'll have put it in the B-roll before this. But that camera did die partway through the session, so I'm not sure how much of that I have. But overall, great site. It's got 40 stalls. We weren't able to find an exact number on how much total power is here, but the general philosophy that I got from one of the software guys is for the consumer facing, BP Pulse, public charging stations to generally just have big power, and they have site level management and that kind of thing on the back end, of course. But the general focus and idea is for people to just show up, plug in, get full power, and just not worry about it. So I think that's pretty cool. And yeah, it's a really interesting site layout. They have kind of 4 different sections of 10 charging stalls, and it seems to be working out pretty well. There's a good distribution of cars kind of all over the place. Today they're doing a promotional 1 cent per kilowatt hour just to kind of drum up some interest and have some conversations with EV owners, get feedback on the launch, very similar to what Iona did with some of their launch events in Apex and other locations. All right, so they have 32 of the Tritium PKM 150s here. I believe they're PKM 150s. If not, then I'm gonna have to put a whole lot of captions on the board, but they're 150 kilowatt units. They're split power, so you can get 150 kilowatt for each vehicle for a total of 400 amps, or 75 kilowatts apiece if both cars are plugged in, and it'll split to 200 and 200 amps. And then if we move over here, we also have the Alpitronic HYC 400. This charger probably needs no introduction. Everyone's using it. It is considered one of the most reliable charging stations in North America. It's also one of the highest power at 400 kilowatts. I think technically speaking, the Tesla Supercharger version 4 has more power, but that's one site. These are going in everywhere. So I'm going to still call this the highest power charger you can get for now. 600 amps, super beefy cables, super reliable operation, super glad to see them here. They've got one Alpitronic HYC 400 with 2 CCS plugs. So you've got I just totally blanked, that's fine. So you've got 2 CCS plugs with the really high power charger, and then pretty much all the rest of the CCS is Tritium units, the 150 kilowatt 400 amp chargers. And over here, right in front of me, is kind of all of the other Alpitronic 400 kilowatt chargers. So you can see these are pretty much all NACS. I think they are, yeah, so they're all NACS. And then, all right. And there is, you can get a shot of that. So that's YouTuber Mind of Matter, we just met today. He is also interested in EVs. He has great lightning content. Go check it out. But yeah, so I believe it is a total of 80 charge ports. 64 of them are the Tritium units, and then I didn't do the math fast enough. I think 26 of them are, no, 16 of them? 16 of them are the 400 kilowatt split, 400 kilowatt Alpitronic chargers. So that's super cool. All right, so with that, we are going to head back now and that'll be the end of this video. But before we do that, I just want to say thanks for watching, and thanks to BP Pulse for sending out an invite for us to join this. It was super fun, not a sponsored event or anything. They just sent out an email saying, hey, we're launching a Gigahub in Chicago if you want to join. So we took the trip up here, and it's been super fun, having great conversations with all the people behind this charging network, and hopefully more progress on the TA sites, and maybe getting London, Ohio back online.